Open meeting, we're going to pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know. I didn't even say I didn't want to.
Roll call.
Wyatt.
Here.
Buns.
Present.
Reister.
Here.
Lawson.
Here.
And Sewell's excused absent.
I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public Works Proclamation for 2023. We got a proclamation for Public Works Week, May 21st to 27th of 2023. Pass that on, Jake, to your crew, that's the week. What do we do, bring them donuts? It'll,
We gave you a good attaboy. Thanks for doing what you do.
it'll be published in the Herald and as part of the minutes as well.
Thank you for all you do. For sure, all of you.
Committee reports, Personnel Admin Committee meeting, Gail.
Okay, we met on April 24th. First item on the agenda was, Mark was here from Lincoln Savings Bank to explain what it looks like next year for our health, vision, and dental insurance renewals, and the information was in the packet. The PPO plan will see a 9.43% increase, and the HMO plan will see a 10.221% increase. The deductible will stay the same, and out-of-pocket is increased by $700 for individuals and $1,400 for families, and then it breaks down all the different areas, and so it was recommended that we take it to council from the committee, and like I said, it's on tonight's agenda, and I don't know when you want Mark to speak to that, or
We'll wait till
just
we get to that.
wait till we get it on the agenda. Okay, and I think I had asked the question of Mark that nationally, like, increases was like 12 to 15%.
Yeah.
So we're still below,
You're right on line.
yeah, so, okay. And next item then was to recommend to council that we go ahead and hire Casey Walter, who's previously on the Grundy Center Police Force. And I can't remember what his start date was going to be.
This Wednesday, because he has to qualify his hand in.
Okay,
This is
okay,
the month that we all qualify.
okay. So, and we also have that on the agenda tonight. Mike Youngblood expressed an interest in being on the committee, and Chrissy had met with him, and so he will be appointed. That's also on tonight's agenda, and we adjourned at 4:59.
Thanks, Gail. Any questions for Gail? What do we got next? Public Safety Committee meeting, Kate.
We met on Thursday, April 27th. Officer Song had Cairo at the meeting to introduce himself to all of us. He's a pretty awesome 14-month-old Dutch Shepherd. He, at that point, had been working for about 2 weeks, and definitely still needing some training. He did, Officer Song is still working on and looking at grants for other things that he is needing for this dog, including another $10,500 to upfit a future squad car in the rotation. He's also set up some vet services at Den Herder, and is working on funding for ongoing costs. So I have continued to encourage him to look for ways outside of public funds to cut those costs as much as possible. So we're continuously looking for that. The next thing we discussed was Cardico Law Enforcement Wellness Solution. Chief Banks and Christy did a lot more research on this since the last time we had talked about it. It's a wellness app from Lexipol. It originally was used for, or has been used very widely by police departments across the country, I believe, right? And when we had talked about it, in addition to just the police department having access to it, we actually spoke about having every city employee be able to have access to it because of the mental health services and everything else that goes along with this. To have the app citywide was just under $5,000. And I think we all discussed about having it as a great benefit, to our insurance benefits along with everything else. The app is gonna be used for a 1-year trial basis, and then, we'll revisit. It is not a long-term contract, so if it's never used and we don't need, I mean, not that we won't need it, but if there's other options available, then we'll continue to look at those just like we would any other benefit out there, so. I don't think that's even on council agenda, cause it was enough that we could just do it, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. Talked about the interviews for the full-time officer, Officer Walters on there. And then we also talked about, expenditures coming in, or things to use, funds, penalties from speed cameras, so revenues coming in from that. And how the speed cameras are truly set up to be a safety issue, not a revenue generating system for us. And therefore, it is not something that we're adding into the budget. And what the funds would be used for can be through any public safety improvement. But not things that we would necessarily go out and spend gazillions of dollars on a huge wish list. So we talked a lot about the wording of how we want to put our lists out there of things. So when we talked about it, basically, I think there's gonna be more discussion on those expenditures, but, when there are items that the police department or the fire department or any public safety, would deem something that they would need, let's say, for example, additional, evidence collecting kits or something like that that can be used across the board, then those are items that they can definitely use those funds for. Some other items have been a pedestrian and golf cart multi-use linkage between neighborhoods so that people can get back and forth between some of our additions that are being developed right now. So we'll continue to have discussions on what those funds go to, and not necessarily just throwing them into a budget by any means. And then quick update of the fire department. They are currently sitting at 36 members. Have talked with them over the last years about potentially needing to eventually staff full-time with a paramedic, because it is so difficult to have rural, especially volunteers, especially during the day when everybody works. And unfortunately, we just don't have as many people working in Hudson, so when a call comes out, there's not as always many people available. So they don't think they're at that point quite yet, but it is going to be an ongoing discussion that they just want to continue to have on top of mind. So we adjourned that meeting at 4:53.
Thanks, Kate. Any questions for Kate? Okay, general government. Item A, discussion action to approve the third reading of ordinance 885, an ordinance amending section 16602 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Hudson, Iowa, as amended by removing certain real estate from the A1 suburban agricultural district to R1 single family residential district. And this was a northern parcel with a house on the former Mosher property.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Lawson.
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item B, discussion action to approve resolution 3064, resolution to appoint personnel admin finance committee member, and that is Michael Youngblood.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item C, discussion action to approve resolution 3065, a resolution for approval to offer employment and set wage for a police officer position for the city of Hudson, Iowa, and that is Casey Walters.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Reister.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 3066, resolution for approval of insurance renewal for the city of Hudson, Iowa. This is the insurance benefits. And Mark White is here in case anybody has any question for him. If not, I'll look for a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, if we can't get it for free, come on.
If we could, I would provide it for free.
Okay, I guess you can't get it if we don't ask, right?
That's true, that's very true.
Roll call.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your work on it.
That's it.
Yep.
Unless you wanna hang out, you can. We only got a couple things left.
I'll be back in touch with Christie tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you for all your work.
Thanks.
Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 3067, a resolution for approval of the Rocket Slide refurbishing project for the city of Hudson, Iowa.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Somebody from Dostal's like jump at that and say we can do that, or what?
The guy who was doing our project, he did painting prior,
Love him.
so the whole thing will be basically scuffed, power washed, hand painted. He said spraying it won't work because all the different colors and they'd waste a lot. And then everything, there's a few minor issues that we brought up to code. So,
And so this is also when it talks about the platforms and stuff, you're talking the steps going up. Is that all needed to be painted too?
yes, the whole thing.
So it will all be done?
It'll all be
Okay.
refurbished.
The whole
Can you
thing.
leave my initials in there from when I was 6?
But there's a few pipes that need some work that they'll work on while they do it too.
Okay.
So, yeah, it should be.
Oh,
nice.
Thank goodness there won't be mutiny in the citizens.
Oh my gosh.
What was the alternative, get rid of it?
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's
it
an
needs
insurance
some
liability right now.
And it won't be after this refurb?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other further discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt,
Hi.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item G, discussion action to approve resolution 3069, a resolution.
Whoa,
setting-
whoa, whoa,
Well,
3068.
Discussion action, to thank you all. Just checking to see if you're listening. Resolution 3068, a resolution approving the transfer of funds for April 2023, and I even had it on the top of my stack.
So moved.
second.
Discussion, this is standard, right? Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, now we get to G, right?
Yep.
Discussion action to approve resolution 3069, a resolution setting a public hearing regarding the approval of the preliminary plat and rezone of the Marianne Lane development. This is setting the public hearing for May 22nd, 2023, and the reason I want to set it tonight is that the planning and zoning to discuss it will be on May 18th. If that is approved, forwarded to council after the public hearing on May 18th, or planning and zoning, then we will have it to be able to have the public hearing the following Monday here at the council. If planning and zoning does not approve it, we take it off the agenda. But this is to set that public hearing for the 22nd.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Reister,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Number of informational items, reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings are held at council chambers except for the library board. Public Works is this coming May 10th at 7 a.m. Mayor's Task Force will be canceled for this month. Personnel Admin Finance Committee meeting, May 22nd. Public Safety meeting, May 25th, 4 p.m. Next council meeting, May 22nd, and then June 12th.
So move to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you all. We're adjourned.